Today I want to talk about the power of certainty. Certainty, to be certain in what you're doing in life is very important. Now, it's almost impossible to be completely certain, to be completely sure where you are, where you're going, what you're doing. But to have certainty is very, very important, because without it, you've got the opposite, which is basically insecurity and uncertainty, and which is going to make you waver. So, no matter what you want to do, regardless of what the activity is that you want to master, whether it's business, entering a relationship, taking up an exercise program, can be, playing an instrument in public, for instance. You're going to have you need to have a certain amount of certainty. Now, certainty could be described as a kind of feeling of deeply rooted security within yourself, and that's what you need to get things done. Initially, you're not going to have it in any undertaking. It has to come with time. And certainty is something that comes from within you, and yet it has to be tested against the outside world, because without having some feedback from other people, or if you're doing what I'm doing, have a camera to let you play back to yourself, you're not going to be able to be sure, to be certain that what you're doing is really working. So certainty is something that it's not going to come immediately. It has to be worked out, it has to be earned, and it has to be invoked, consciously invoked. It has to be consciously brought into your life through stages of personal development. But over time, certainty will become stronger when you're doing something. So, for instance, if you're a musician and you're playing and you're a little bit shaky, obviously as you get better, and you also, as you get more confident playing in front of other people, you're more relaxed, your posture's better, your breathing's better, you're more confident in that sense. Then your certainty starts to come from that. There's that feeling of stability within yourself. So certainty is something that grows with time, with practice, and with constant feedback, because people are going to say things like, yeah, I like what you did, I like how you played that guitar. In business, people may shake your hand and say, yeah, I like your product, I like your service, I want to buy a product or pay for your service. So as the feedback starts to come to you that what you're doing has value, then the inner certainty will start to grow by itself. It's like it's a seed. Once you start to believe in yourself, you plant the seed, and that belief becomes a seed. But that seed is brought to fruition and to flower by the process of essentially positive feedback. Yes, negative feedback will come in as well. Absolutely it will. However, the negative feedback will kind of show you, first of all, what's less popular in your behavior, what's not working. In some cases it will show you what's not working. I say some cases because sometimes you just get negative feedback no matter how good you're doing something. But often negative feedback can actually be useful as a way to make you realise that what you're doing is probably not as good as it could be. Within reason, as I say, because sometimes you'll get negative feedback no matter how good you are. So we can use negative feedback to gauge yourself. And an example would be if you go, as I did, take singing lessons with a teacher, and the teacher comes back and tells you, you're not quite doing that right, you're off the note a little bit there. Or alternatively, you video or tape record yourself, play it back, and you can hear you're off the note. That's kind of negative feedback, because not negative in the sense of destructive, but it's coming back to you to tell you what you were doing wasn't quite right, and you need to realign yourself with your original intention a little bit more precisely. So that kind of feedback, negative feedback, will also help you develop certainty. But positive feedback more directly will do that, because positive feedback will say things like, yeah, you did really well there, you hit that note bang on, or I love the service that you gave there. It was fantastic. So certainty comes with time, and it's important to really develop that feeling of certainty within you, because certainty really is not just a mental concept. It's not just something you think about, but it's something that you feel. So that's all I want to say about certainty.